Hey, it's your boy, Prince Neutron, aka Mickey Neutronic, aka Club Guy Says, aka Jack Freeze, aka Low Key the Plug. Um, yeah. Today is I wanna say October 28th, 2019. And we've accomplished a lot as society, as humankind, as mankind. We've accomplished a whole lot, and arguments suggest that perhaps maybe in previous generations or previous decades or millennium or whatever you want to call it, we maybe even accomplished more, like through the Egyptians and pre-dynastic Egypt and all that. But we are far from gods. We may have mastered electricity and electronics and aeronautics, but we are far from gods. Far from God. Or gods, if you want to, call it that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But I don't know, like, it's a lot we can still do. There's a lot of fantastic, awesome, amazing, godlike things that we can still do. I'm just worried about the application of some of our newfound powers. We shouldn't be messing with, the human genome. That is accident waiting to happen. The movies all suggest, and humans have always been, leery of it. But you know what I'm saying? I really and truly hope that we can create a strict and stringent law against that for years and decades and millennium to come, because that's not cool. I can see why God may have flooded the whole planet before if we was messing around like that, you know what I'm saying, creating abominations and stuff or whatever. But speaking of abominations, like, it's, you know what I'm saying, that's a touchy subject, because when people, start talking about things that are close to their belief system, it can become a touchy subject, especially when you have a unique lifestyle that you are, feeling is yours, and people are persecuting you about it, or prejudging you, or being biased against you because of it. That's difficult. I have a lot of care and compassion for the LGBT community. I believe that their condition is something that should be cared for and allowed for, and I think that they should be respected just like other human beings, based on their merits and based on their character, not just unequivocally because they're, LGTBQ, RSTU, VXYZ, or whatever you choose to identify as. I think that always we should judge each other by our character. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I don't really like what's going on with the transgender movement and a lot of the things that they're really trying to force society to do. Like, you know what I'm saying, I seen the thing the other day about the tampons, or what was it, Kotex or whatever. They were trying to get them to say, okay, this is not purely for women, this is for men too. And at first I'm like, wait a minute, why would trans men be trying to talk about some tampons? They can't even use tampons, they don't even bleed. But then come to find out, it was actually the women that identify as men that now want to continue to use the same tampons they've been using, but now because they identify as men, they don't want to have to go into the convenience store and pick up some female tampons and feel like, it's not for them, when if you're still bleeding down there, and that means you have a vagina, that means they are for you. I don't get it. To me, I feel like that is pushing the envelope, and that is very, very ridiculous for them to try to force that level of acceptance upon us in society. And I think in general, when it comes to the whole LGTBQ community and movement, that sometimes it does feel like it is bordering on just kind of like forcing people to accept their lifestyle and behavior, as opposed to agreeing that they shouldn't be, unduly persecuted and discriminated against. I think the whole conversation really needs to shift from, making people feel guilty for wondering about what's going on with some of that stuff, as opposed to addressing some of the unfair stereotypes, like being an emotional man. Being an emotional man does not make you gay, does not make you queer. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's levels to that, and I think we as society need to compartmentalize the aspects of our nature that are personal and private, and they need to have some sort of reverence. And I think that that's fair for heterosexuals and homosexuals and everything in between. I think sexuality has become a very public and out in the open thing, and it's very flagrant, and it's very offensive a lot of times, because not everyone has the same sexual preferences, and so some of that stuff can be seen as, overly offensive. And that goes for heterosexual and homosexual things. And I think if we are honest with ourselves about that in society, and are honest about the fact that sex has become too public in a lot of ways, that we can start to find some more rational ground to move forward with regards to respecting each other and respecting each other's preference and space, and just kind of privacy and everything else when it comes to the public sphere. And then just in general, kind of getting rid of some of the stigma behind things. Like for me, and I'll just be honest, when I was coming up in high school or whatever, I always associated gay people with being messy and being spreading gossip, and always being in people's business and being nosy and stuff like that. For me, the gay stereotype that I saw and made real in my life was the one where, it was super flamboyant, always in your face, always wanting to be seen, and not very trustworthy in the sense of they like to gossip and this and that. So, all that stuff is not true about all gay people. And it's wrong to create stereotypes that are based on such specific things and try to apply them to every case of a situation. It's unavoidable to stereotype, because it's a defense mechanism. It's one of the things that we as humans kind of do to protect ourselves from being victimized by certain personalities. And so, it's unavoidable. It's going to happen, but we have to find fairer ways to do so, and we also have to find more unique ways to pretty much, tell someone thanks but no thank you, or that's not my cup of tea, but no offense, whatever. And I think we can do that. It'll get better, but at the same time, we gotta really get mature about what's the deal when it comes to just kind of general respect and privacy, because a lot of that stuff that people want us to accept, it shouldn't necessarily have to be forced upon someone to accept it, because not everybody, just like you have a preference, not everybody has the same preference as you. And furthermore, as it pertains to, disguising yourself as something that you're not, or something that is not commonly, and see, this is where it's slippery slope. I don't think that it's fair for a man identifying as a woman to disguise himself as a woman, pass himself off as a woman, when in fact he is not a woman. And you can say you're a woman all you want. If you got a penis, you're not a woman. And then if you want to just get so more politically correct and still say you're a woman, you should be telling people somehow, some way that you're a woman with a penis, because that's not, every woman don't have a penis. Matter of fact, no woman has a penis. So you're really not a woman. You saying you're a woman, and we're gonna let you get away with it. We're gonna let you slide, but no, sir. Don't be going around letting people believe that you are a full-fledged woman when indeed you have the instrument to plant the seed. You feel me? That's not cool. And I think that's, a couple of the main offenses that I see with that community. And you know what I'm saying? And females too at the same time. I don't know if women have that hard of a time detecting studs, you know what I'm saying, as being real women or not being real women. Some of them look like, you know what I'm saying, real women real dudes from far away. But I'm sure upon dating one, a female, especially a female, would be able to tell that that's not a man, because obviously there's going to be some things that's not going to add up, like, you know what I'm saying, certain smell, and pussy smell a certain way, and so, you know what I'm saying, certain smell, and, you know what I'm saying, ain't going to be nothing hanging down there, you know what I'm saying, all little signs add up. But, you know what I'm saying, it's the same with men dressing as women. It's pretty easy to tell most cases, but in today's society, with the surgeries that they can do, and the links that these niggas is willing to go through, yeah, they need to have more transparency when it comes to that. And that's just is what it is. I don't think that the presidential candidates are addressing this racial nightmare that's going on in America enough. These police is coming in our houses and killing us in our own homes, and you know what I'm saying, that's not coming up enough in the debates. And I think reparations is one way to really start to address the situation. I know that's gonna really set off some white nationalists. You think they mad now, let you say they gonna give niggas some money, they gonna really be mad. But that's not our problem, man. I think mature America realizes and understands that there has been a historic wrong that has been done, and the effects of it are, far-reaching, and they lasted, way longer than just the actual act of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Discrimination and prejudice and stuff like that are affecting us to this day in very real, institutionalized ways. And I think reparations really, before it even becomes a check, needs to be repairing the system that's institutionalizing our incarceration, our ability to get property, to buy houses. We need to correct that. You know what I'm saying? Our government, our education system, which is designed to pipeline us into the prisons. We need to correct that, and we need to really address that openly and honestly, and with more than just reparation talk, because, you know what I'm saying, it needs to talk, hand in hand with a real re-understanding on how American citizens treat American citizens and respect American citizens. And then when it comes to the border crisis too, you know what I'm saying, there needs to be some reconvening on that too. I think that the world is going through an interesting period right now, and I wouldn't be opposed to, having more restricted entrance into the United States for a period of time until we get our shit together. You know what I'm saying? We transition in between presidents and getting in I feel like Trump is like a national emergency. Like, we dealing with a crisis right now. Leave us alone right quick. But nah, because he's causing the friction at the border. But, you know, that's, I don't know. Trump was a necessary evil, I'm afraid to say. I think the things that he's doing with China are probably some of the only good things that he's done so far. I do feel like China needed to wake up and smell the coffee. This is a new world. This is a world global economy. Y'all need to play fair, or we're not gonna play no more type shit. But at the same time, they also getting away with murder with the cheap labor that they got over there in China. So, I mean, it's a catch-22. We're gonna have to make amends with China at one point. But this racism, bro, it's the undertone to everything. This racism and this nationalism is the undertone to everything. And I think we need to really push forward with a multicultural agenda that is aimed at the kids and shows everybody that, hey, there is real value in embracing each other's culture and really, you know, getting to know someone's culture enough so you can respect them, respect their ideas, respect their, you know, frame of mind and where they're coming from and how they think, so we can collaborate and create some dope art and technology and everything. You know what I'm saying? I think kids in middle school need to learn how to be multicultural. That needs to be a part of the curriculum. They need to learn how to sit in groups with other races and maybe school needs to be forced. You know what I'm saying? Y'all said forced integration. It might needs to be forced, what do you call it? Forced diversity in schools. What if there had to be even numbers of all races in each class? What if that was the case? What if we had to distribute it like that? You know what I'm saying? But then that would be messed up if it was like Mexicans, more Mexicans than everybody in everybody's class. No. It's so many different catch-22s about this race thing, because when people get in numbers, they start feeling themselves, and then they start acting like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I'm saying? But we got to learn how to respect each other, yo, for real. And we can, you know, get past the machismo shit, the swagger, I'm better, we're better than you shit. We might do something, you know what I'm saying, constructive. We might be able to actually, you know, take this planet somewhere. But I'm afraid a lot of the vanity shit is kind of being, you know, super exemplified now in a social media age, because, you know, we all have an image to uphold now. But we're going to get it together. Here in Dallas, I'm actually organizing. We got a movement called Flip Click, and basically we're going to be doing some mentorship projects with high school students, helping them fill out college information and learn about internships and apprenticeships here locally. And we doing our part, man. Plus, we're going to be throwing some dope parties. So if you ever coming through Dallas, or if you live in the Dallas area, look up flipclick.com. Look me up on Facebook as Mickey Neutronic. Obviously, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And, you know what I'm saying, let's engage in this conversation on, you know, just a progressive millennial level. And I'm talking to, you know, 25 to 35-year-olds, I guess. You feel me? 25 to 35-year-olds. And let's, you know what I'm saying, let's collaborate. Let's network. If y'all are trying to advertise, if y'all are trying to fly to Dallas and, you know, network, build, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you got a brand or whatever, let me know. We'll figure out how to interact with you guys and create some meaningful content. I love to do podcasts and parties and stuff like that. So if you have any ideas on that, let me know. And yeah, man, make sure y'all stay aware of these politics, man. The vote and the way that the last debate went, to me, is really kind of, it was watered down. It didn't feel real. It didn't feel like they were really trying to talk about nothing. It felt like they were posturing. And it scares me too, because what Facebook is doing right now and what getting away with, and with all these big tech companies are doing. Elizabeth Warren, with everything that you talked about, that's what the people are thinking. Like, we really need somebody to check these companies. And if that was just some bullshit to say what was on the public's mind in order to get elected, then not do that shit, that's some bullshit. And I feel like it is some bullshit. And I think that our generation really needs to be more cognizant of that. We need to elect more politicians. We need to be more politicians. You know what I'm saying? We need to hold politicians more accountable and all that. So I'm done ranting for today. Remember to drink water. Be great. It's your boy. Peace.